Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we have another rank up with the Turali travel agency. And so, Liplu, what's going on? A guest from across the salt. Desiree, it's good to see you. Have you heard? The new eatery is a roaring success. It seems like Kiza's time as a cook and Shalani exposed him to all kinds of cuisines. The young fellow is both surprisingly skilled and commands an impressive repertoire. His comrades too have proven worthwhile additions, having taken well to guide work. Besides that, there's been an interesting development. You remember Tia, the Wing of Reflection representative, don't you? Our very first customer? Well, we were discussing my initiative to support former outlaws, and all of a sudden he tells me there was something he wished to discuss in person. He's on his way to Doc Poga as we speak. I hope you can join me for a discussion. He ought to be here any moment now. Thank you for setting aside the time to meet me. Sia, it's wonderful to see you again. You seem in fine fettle indeed. Likewise, it's heartening to see you and the business doing so well. The strides you made since my first visit are remarkable. Your expansions to Upstream Kozamoka with flying Brunutis was quite the feat, and your decision to employ former bandits has done much for the wider community. A superb achievement. Know that my colleagues back in Tuliola are equally impressed. Last time I was here, I spoke of our position on tourism and foreign relations. It is with regards to this that the Wing of Reflection would seek your assistance. But of course, my inner abacus is cracking away, and it's urging me to do everything I can to support you. We'd love nothing more than to show foreign guests the delights Turali has to offer. Although visitors from overseas are quite few and far between, what exactly would you have us do? You are aware that Tuliola recently entered into an alliance with Razatan. As it so happens, we received a visitor from the city-state. We told her about the Turali travel agency. She expressed an interest in experiencing the region for herself. Would you be willing to provide one of your tours? It would be our pleasure. Fortunately, we have a slot available. Excellent. The visitor's name is Rasaf Bat. She's one of the Aura, a people known for their curved horns and ornate scales. I should also mention that she's an alchemist by trade. I shall return to Tuliola and inform her of the plan at once. I procure an alpaca porter for her journey. If you could attend her when she arrives, I'd be much obliged. We'll be ready and waiting. To think the Ring of Reflection would entrust us with a nation's honored guest. What better way to promote Turali as a premier tourist destination? We wouldn't be in this position if it weren't for you and all our hardworking staff. Now then, we can't leave anything to chance. We'll need to be fully prepared for Rasav Bart's arrival. I don't suppose you visited Razatan? I'd like to learn as much as I can about our guest's homeland. I was indeed there. Of course I needn't have asked. I'm not surprised in the least that our special advisor has traveled so far and wide. From what I've heard, the climate of Fafnir is similar to that of Kazamaoka, so I presume our guests will not be overwhelmed by the heat and humidity. My primary concern is the local cuisine. Would you mind speaking to Wafkisa and sharing your knowledge of Hanish fare with him? It may inspire him to prepare a suitable menu. Hey there, anything I can help you with? Special guest? Probably likes hot food? It's an honor to welcome a guest from across the salt, putting together a menu to suit their tastes or to make for a fun challenge. So what might one find on the dinner table in Razatan? Spicy food. Food that packs a spicy punch, huh? In that case, the Moblin's flavorful cuisine might be better received than the more subdued Hanu fare. In In any event, I'll whip up a meal that puts local flavors front and center and work in a few flourishes to suit our guest. Let Liplu know I've got this covered. Und wer ist denn Aua? Welcome to Kozamauka. Razaf Bart, I presume. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Liplu, the founder of the Turali travel agency. I'll be your tour guide. Thank you for accommodating me at such short notice. I'm Razaf Bart, yes, and I represent the High Crucible of Alchemia, Razatan's state-sponsored alchemical workshop. Oh, you're Desiree, aren't you? What a coincidence. Forgive me, you must not remember. I'm one of the alchemists you met at the Great Work. My associates and I, examined your friend Estinian. I see. Right. I remember now. I see you already know each other. Well, I think it's a little more one-sided than each other suggests. The people of Razatan know all of Fafnir and beyond our debt of gratitude to Desiree. The same goes for all of us here in the Turali Travel Agency. She's done so much to support our enterprise, not to mention the nation at large. Incredible. Fate certainly works in mysterious ways. I couldn't agree more. Seeing as the two of you are already acquainted, perhaps you'd care to join us on the tour? She'll have her own personal protector. Yay! Wonderful. Allow me to escort you to your room, Razafbat. I'm sure you want to unpack your belongings. Would you mind waiting here? We'll be back in no time. I can't wait to see what Kozamauka has to offer. This is going to be marvelous. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's get going, shall we? Let's go. All right. And now with the moblins? Green inch von the Gen, yeah. Razafbat's satisfactions were plain upon her face. I'm deeply indebted to the agency and all its hardworking staff. What a splendid place. I'm so relieved everything went off without a hitch, and who'd have thought we'd get to watch the Hanu rehearsing for the next Iana? I can only hope Razafbat enjoyed her experience as much as I believe she did. I want to thank you all for everything you've done. This was a true delight. The climate may be similar to that of Fafnir, but the native flora have been a sight to behold. Speaking as an alchemist, there's so many intriguing specimens, such potential. The people and their culture, it was fascinating to learn how the Hanu use reed-woven floats to channel their magics during rites and rituals. Oh, and the Punerities were simply adorable. This will all make for a very engaging account when I report back to Vitra. Our two nations may have forged an alliance, but the ink has barely begun to dry on the parchment. Indeed, it was thanks to the efforts of the science that an agreement was reached at all. It would be presumptuous to claim that Tuliyola and Razatan truly understand one another yet. Which is why the satrap sent me, to explore the potential for future mutually beneficial arrangements, and to confirm the friendship between our nations will stand the test of time. The Hanu and their unique magical traditions, the plant specimens you spoke of, you think this knowledge would benefit Razatan? Yes. If we are able to maintain relations and encourage a flow of people between our two nations, Razatan stands to gain a great deal, of that I'm certain. Besides, there's so much more I wish to learn about this land. I plan on spending the rest of my time here doing just that. Wonderful, simply wonderful. When you return to Razatan, I hope you let everyone know what a great place Kusamukra is to visit, or better yet, the whole of Turali. I definitely will. Well, I suppose we should head back to the agency. You just leave the rest to us. We'll make sure the remainder of Razafbat's stay is truly unforgettable. Razafbat is resting in her quarters. I must say I'm relieved the two ended without incident. Thank you for everything you've done. For our visiting alchemist, I dare say Kozamaruka's vegetation seemed like a veritable cornucopia. Any discovery made via the alliance will benefit Tuliyola as much as Razatan. Indeed, this type of exchange is precisely what the Wing of Reflection had hoped for. I shall make my proposal to Dawn Seventh Corner as soon as I return to the capital. There's no doubt in my mind, the tourism industry deserves our official backing. And once we may offer it, we shall have a commemorative monument erected to make this clear to one and all. Your support means a great deal, but I can't understand the role Desiree and the people of Kozamaruka had to play in our success. The happiness is just as important to me. The pay we earn must serve to enrich the community, which is why I can't rest on my laurels for even a moment. And there's a monument. Thanks to the travails of Liebler and her associates, the Turali travel agency is on the cusp of receiving official backing from the Ring of Reflection. The future is bright for Tural's incipient tourism industry. The Pelu principle of mutually beneficial trade underpinning the endeavor, where tourists tread, happiness is soon to follow. Reputation up. Your reputation is increased to Sworn. You have achieved Sworn reputation with the Turali travel agency. You will receive an experience bonus upon the completion of Pelu Society daily quests. And more wares, but no quests for Sworn. Extra special advisor. And got the achievement Tourist Wrangler. No additional quests, I believe I already said that. And there should be another, exactly, Sworn usually has the next step Blood Sworn, but I probably put it this episode because this is so far very short. So, I see you, for you in a moment, for me in 2 weeks or so. And welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we want to continue the probably final quest of Turali Travel Agency. At least if it follows the same rules as previous Tribal Society, however it's called quests. Blue. Partners in Pell. Desiree, thanks to you, the Turali Travel Agency goes from strength to strength. Ring of Reflection's backing has been a real boon. We're seeing more traffic than ever. And it so happens we're due a visit from another special guest today. As you have many times before, will you join me in welcoming them? Sure. Thank you. Let's go and wait by the Ring of Reflection's monument outside. So who comes? Vuklamat? I appreciate how generous you are with your time, I really do. Our guest should be here any moment now. Mablu. Liplu, Desiree, it's been a while. So good to see you, Mablu. Welcome to the Turali Travel Agency's Kusamoka branch. That's right, today's guest is none other than my dear friend Mablu. I'm sure you noticed, but she's had a hand in practically every aspect of the enterprise. From procuring supplies to facilitating critical communications and relaying news from trading posts all across Turali, she's been a huge help. Let's not forget that it was Mablu who introduced me to you. The Turali Travel Agency wouldn't be the institution it is today without your tireless effort. You both have my eternal gratitude. I'm just as grateful. After all, I've gained my fair share of Pel as well. Still, I can't hold a candle to you, Liblu. Forging ties with a community and securing the endorsement of a Wing of Reflection? As a fellow entrepreneur in pursuit of our shared goal, I shall have to redouble my efforts. Haha! I never told you this, but after Mablu first committed to becoming a peddler, she came to the alpaca wool bedding emporium I was operating at the time and put to me a business proposal. Due to recent events, to all as known much hardship, both great and small, and she wondered if perhaps we, through our mercantile pursuits, might do something to hasten the nation's recovery. From the terrible storm that destroyed bridges and rendered the flight of the wingless impassable, to the sudden death of Gululu Jaja, we've had much cause to grief. But it's our way to spread happiness through trade, and I have to believe we could still make a difference as only we Pelu could. When Neo and your compliments returned in triumph, there were festivities during which I spoke with many Turali. I sensed the people's growing desire to learn about their neighbors and share their own culture in turn. That's why I told Liplu I saw an opportunity ripe for the taking. And so I decided to establish the Turali Travel Agency. Mablu would keep in touch as she peddled her wares on the road, supporting us with her observations and insights. We were business partners in the Turali revitalization initiative, so to speak. The more we expanded our operations, the more people and communities to which we could bring visitors and their pal. With everyone's help, we enriched many lives, and this is only the beginning. Through trade, we continue to bring Turali together and give them ample cause to smile. After all, that's what we Pelu do, now and always. You're right about that. I can hear my inner Abacus clucking away. It's proud we can hold true to our traditions, and just as convinced as I am that all our dreams will come true. I hope you both keep the Turali Travel Agency in mind, wherever you might be, to be sure to send plenty of customers our way. Mablu agrees. I too. Where would I be without you, Desiree? You've contributed so much to the agency and aided us in assembling an amazing group of collaborators. The Hanu are a joy to work with, and the Moblins are thrilled to have found an all-new audience for their crafts. Not to mention the alpaca porters and Ponuti hands, pleased with all the extra Pel in their pockets. But as I keep saying, we wouldn't have been able to forge those ties in the first place if it weren't for your help. I'm sure you're tired of me singing your praises, but I really do owe it all to you. Thanks for sticking with me as I've taken these first real steps towards my dream. I wonder where the next steps will lead me. Homeward to Okopaja? Or perhaps I should set my sights on Jacques Tural. Who knows, one day the Turali Travel Agency may even have an Alexandrian branch. After all, a path only extends as far as you're willing to walk, and my legs have plenty of life left in them. Your reputation is increased to Bloodsworn. Extra experience points. And more wares. come by whenever you're around. Hey, at least it works with Viera this time. Most heads still don't. Okay, but that seems to be the only new thing, the Pelu Mask. Alright. That's it then for the Turali Travel Agency. There will likely be another Society allied quest, but for that the other allied societies need to be released first. We will see what it will be later. And until next time, I say, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.